Hello, everyone. Today we are going to talk with Thaddeus about Thaddeus Ferguson and his story, who he is and why he's here on this planet and how he's helping people. So welcome again. He is my new co-admin for this group, which I'm super excited about. And I'm going to let him do a lot of talking. So first of all, tell us about you. Who are you? Why? Tell us about you.
Uh, I'm a guy that loves yoga, meditation, Reiki, and the connection piece of it. And I'm here to connect people here in Peoria, specifically the West Valley.
That's huge. That's huge because we need that up there. So let's start with your beginning. When was
Okay.
your spiritual awakening? Like when did you go, wait a minute, there's got to be something else. Tell us about
Yeah,
that.
that probably happened in around 2008, 2007, 2008. I was going through a challenging relationship that really uh, put me on the edge of questioning everything about this life. And at a young age, I had always almost had like the desire or the inclination to do a practice like yoga, the movement and the stretching. But growing up, when I grew up in the social conditioning around it, it just wasn't something that guys
Mhm.
really did. So I always resisted it. And then just really hitting that edge of why am I here? And it was almost like that small inner voice was like,
Yoga. Yoga.
and yeah, and it was like,
Did you find a
well,
school or how did you learn and where'd you do that?
yeah, I actually started off at Dawn Yoga, and that was really, really good because it got me to move, and the more I moved, the more I cried, and realized like, oh yeah, all this intensity in this relationship is a lot about me more than anybody else, and the non-truths that I'm living that are creating this dis-ease in my body. So all that movement really allowed me to accept personal responsibility for creating my life and my situation. Uh, and from Dawn Yoga, I was blessed enough to go to Yoga Pura, um, where they took the teachings of yoga and made it one of those things where the yoga mat was a microcosm of my life, and I was able to really recognize the different reactions to life that I was doing. And it was amazing because the yoga mat, I don't really care about the yoga mat, so it allowed me to feel and see what I was doing in my own life with my relationships. And the more I practice, the more it was like, oh, okay, I'm in an uncomfortable position in yoga, and this is how I'm responding, and I'm responding the same way in life. It's an uncomfortable pose, and I want to move away from it. What
Yeah.
happens if I sit with it and breathe with it? Oh, okay, yeah, I can get through it. Or sometimes even just giving myself permission to get out of the pose because it was too much,
Mm-hmm.
and being able to transfer that into my real life per se, and recognizing that whatever happened on the yoga mat also happens off the mat. And I just dove into it full throttle and was like, oh, okay, yeah, that little small voice, it's pretty on point.
Yeah. This is where you belong, right?
Yeah, yoga is where I belong. I mean, I love yoga. It's like uh, I have addictive tendencies, and yoga is one of those addictive tendencies.
Yeah,
Like
that's
it's
a
a
good place to
positive
put it.
addiction. Yeah,
You're gonna be
yeah,
addicted to something, right?
right. Yeah, it's like I could either go find a yoga studio or practice yoga or watch Netflix.
Right.
Because and for me, watching Netflix isn't like one episode. It's like, oh, I'm gonna watch the whole series.
Oh,
tonight.
yeah, next episode loading. Yeah, I think everybody's familiar with that.
Yeah,
How did we get trained to binge watch? Who did that to us? I can stop it. Can I?
yeah,
Though? I don't know. Can I? So
exactly.
you started teaching. What did you? When did you decide you wanted to share and teach yoga?
Uh, so it started, I went to a yoga nidra retreat
Oh,
that was being held up or down south with Yoga Pura. And it was a 4 day, 2 4 day retreats. And during the retreat, when you can get away
yeah,
from your life, it really changes stuff. And the way this yoga nidra training was set up, it was like we were disconnected.
nice.
And and this was just right before social media, or at least before I became really aware of social media. So there wasn't that attachment online. So you
Right.
really detached offline. And I remember just walking the labyrinth over and over and over again and again, realizing like in the labyrinth, I could see the end, but I almost saw myself as an ant, and like, what would it be like if I was an ant walking this labyrinth, not knowing where the end is, and how like if I try to cheat the system and climb over one of these rocks, which way am I going? Am I going forward or back? And I almost saw like all these different like helpers, someone who had already made it to the center, and he's like, this way, this is the right way, this is the way. And be like, no, it's not this way, it's this way, and all this other stuff. And just all these awarenesses and insights, and really just diving into my purpose. It was like, I want to share this. And I was pretty good at it. So that helped too. And so I just started doing it because it, again, when you find something that you love, like, you do it, or at
Yeah,
least
yeah,
that's how I feel. And
absolutely.
he goes to the yoga, and it's like the more I do it, the more I feel better and empowered, and sharing that gift with others helps. So it just made sense.
Yeah, that's awesome. And it's interesting that, I'm a fan of yoga. I've never been like the deep dive. My sister is definitely the more yoga of the two of us. She's like deep into all of the arms, limbs of yoga. Limbs, right? Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, the
But
eight
like,
limbs.
yeah, the eight limbs. So I think the thing that always stood out to me about yoga is the word practice, and how it's always a deeper and deeper practice. You're never done. You're never like, I mastered
Mhm.
yoga. Like,
Right, yeah.
so, and I know when you're talking about this stuff and the people in this group and the people in this community, like that's what they're looking for, is like, how do I find that? And just this personal awareness and the self-ownership, like, I created this. Oh my gosh, this is me. I've done this. It's such an important journey, and it's such a great journey. So you're up in Peoria, and what's the community like up there? What are you doing up there? What's your why?
My why is, again, because I'm so addicted to yoga and the practices, and even just the movement practices, breath work, all this stuff.
Mhm.
Um, I'm pretty connected up here, but I also see that there's not like a community hub
Hmm.
in Northwest. Like I know in Tempe, Scottsdale, like it's almost like you can congregate together
Right.
to practice. Where here it's kind of
Yeah.
separated. And that's pretty much the why of P83 Wellness. It's like, why are we here? We're here to create a connection for
Nice.
people where they can really dive into the practice. And by diving in, it's funny because the dive in is finding that stillness, that and like I was sharing earlier, it's for me, yoga on the mat is about finding stillness and movement. And
Mhm.
then when you meditate, it's about finding that stillness within. And then my passion, my love is the reiki, which allows you to connect the stillness within you with someone else,
Mhm.
and allow them to feel that peace that calm that's within us all, but sometimes you need help.
Yeah.
and,
Yeah.
and,
We
and,
get
and,
busy and distracted and like, oh, put something else,
right.
yoga later. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
uh,
Is that's exactly it. And when you can just touch someone and hold them in that loving energy of Reiki, which is really just the loving energy of, God, spirit, whatever you want to call it, but to help them connect with that and then give them the tools to connect with it themselves. It's a beautiful thing, and it's especially something that we need right now because we disconnected for 2 years.
yeah, hard,
And yeah, and
hard.
and now you're seeing it, and it's like, okay, yeah, people need to come back to the breath, the stillness, and I can help them do that.
Love it.
And that's the why.
So you created P83 Wellness as your business, as your practice, as your contribution. Tell us all about your P83 Wellness, and there will be links and everything in the notes of this video, so you don't have to go through all that. But just share with us like what you're doing there. You did mention you were practicing in a center up there, so you can talk about that. Just share whatever
Okay.
about P83.
Yeah. So P83 Wellness, we're actually out of the uh, West Valley Center for Spiritual Living, and we're here, like I said, to build that connection through meditation, yoga, Reiki. Me and my partner Katie, uh, we've been through it. We raised two girls, and we've been through it, and they graduated, and it's like, okay, we can share this gift with everyone now because they're off in the world living their best lives,
Nice.
and we want to help others connect and live with their best lives as well, and share these gifts, because it's something that we talk about often, is how we didn't have a lot of these tools growing up, and if we had, we would have made different choices, because the more you practice yoga and meditate, the more you begin to realize like that juice, that connection, almost like how you were talking about when you were out in nature. Like
Yeah.
there's just something about connecting to spirit in a profound way that it's like I don't want to do the other stuff, the stuff that isn't leading to peace, our stillness. I want to do more of this, and for me it's a little strange, because the more I help others find that peace, that stillness, the more that peace and stillness grows in me, and
Hmm.
it's the reason why we created P83 Wellness, because it's like, let's help everybody do this. I
Yeah.
remember there was a Buddhist monk one time that I was listening to his teaching, and the thing that resonated the most with me was when he said, "If you want a cookie, give a cookie." And at the time, I didn't get it. I was like, "If I want a cookie, I'll eat a cookie." But
Oh, I like cookies.
yeah, I like cookies.
I
I
can
like
go buy
cookies
cookies
too.
though. Why would I give it away?
Yeah, but then it's like the more you connect with spirit and that stillness, the more you realize, oh, when I give that cookie to someone else, when I give that peace to someone else, I see the reflection of that peace brought back to me. So when you have your cookie and you're satisfied, I feel satisfied,
That's
and
awesome.
it's so, and that's what P83 Wellness is really all about, is helping everybody get that cookie of peace and
Love
joy
it.
and,
I love
and
it.
love.
Yeah, it's cool too, and something that I really love about this group, Conscious Events, this whole group and this whole community is that we do all need different things. And I'm much more connected to nature and shamanism, and like that kind of nature magic is a lot more where I get that my juice and my cookies. But the beauty of it is no matter where anybody is on their path, no matter what you need or what you like, if you like yoga, if you like sound healings, if you like kirtan, whatever, like everybody in this group is offering different things. So by giving you the space to share, like, this is what you're doing, you and Katie are doing in your center. The right people will now know, like, oh, that's where I want to go. And having a physical a building, you know, having a meeting place. And you said they do a Sunday service, they do a weekly
Yeah,
service.
yeah, they have Sunday service. They're actually part of like the Science of Mind, Ernest Holmes. So it's all about personal growth and transformation. So
Nice.
it really is a great center to connect uh, everybody. It's an
Yeah.
open community. They're open because like Reiki it's not for everybody, and
Right.
it's I'm appreciative that I've found a home that's willing, where I can say I love yoga, I love Reiki, I love to meditate, and they're like, we love you too.
Yeah, totally. It's
Come on in.
fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah.
So oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, and like even like conscious events, thinking about the cookies, it's like this. There's rows and rows and aisles of people offering different cookies, and it's
Totally.
beautiful. It's
Yeah.
beautiful to see. You've got like the mediums, the breath work, the tarot,
Mhm.
everything, yoga, sound, kirtan, like you said. Like it's just it's like going to what is it, Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, and all the
My favorite movie in the whole
different
world.
flavors.
Favorite
Yeah,
movie ever.
that's
Absolutely.
yeah, that's what Phoenix is. We've got a lot of different flavors of spiritual cookies out there
We do.
for
We
you,
have a really
for you
cool
to enjoy.
community. Yeah, when I started exploring in 2009, so this group was kind of my own solution to how do I find people. I'm like, we'll put out a space for them to step into, you know, online. There's also a meetup group. So since then, it's just been organically growing, and I love that there's so many people sharing so many cool things, and I love that you're now one of them, and that you're part of this. Like you're my anchor on the northwest corner.
Yes.
So yeah, thank you so much again for stepping up and sharing about you and everything. I think we'll cut this interview today and share it so the group can meet you more, learn a lot more about you.
All
And
right.
I guess we'll see you in the group, and everybody will see you in the group.
Yes.
Anything
Look
else you
forward to
wanted
it.
to share before we go?
Ah, enjoy your cookies.
Enjoy your cookies. See you later, everyone.